That's what I said earlier.
Hello, darling. It's your friend Brian, and I love Hallmark Love You Airy films.
Hello, darling. It's Brian. I like Hallmark Love You Airy films. I don't know where that went. That one.
Hello. It's me, Dan. I despise the Darcy films, and this is the Deck the Hallmark podcast.
Deck the Hallmark. It's this podcast.
You put it up like you were wiping your mouth like you were a
We hope you like this jolly podcast.
All right. Hi, everybody.
Now, if you think for 1 second that these hats were not form-fitted, laser measured for our heads, you would be mistaken. Because if you think that we all got the same size hat on, you are wrong.
This is one of those movie tricks, right?
It's
like
insane.
the forced perspective.
That's right.
This is usually a camera trick.
That's right. Yeah. Brian's head is not 8 sizes too big.
And you've been working on you finally got that magic trick down.
I got my box of tricks. Anybody have a card? Hey, pick a card.
Old Darkwing
Pick a
Duck
card,
over
any
there.
card.
He's just like
drowning in
ain't
this
no
thing.
rain getting on you. I can tell you that. That thing is massive.
Now, I got to be honest.
Shoulders are going to stay dry.
I have spent more time today in the 1800s or acting like we're in the 1800s than ever before in my life.
Then the people who lived through the 1800s.
Yeah, 1800s. They didn't even have to deal with this. It's a lot. We're going to get through it. We're going to have a good time.
It doesn't sound like it.
Hey, here's a question for you guys. I actually I was watching Knight Rider.
Yeah.
The old one?
No, the new one.
Okay.
And they were riding in the car and they were doing the whole thing. And Kit's like, we got some stuff going on.
Kid's not British. You know who Kid is.
Yeah, Kid is Mr. Feeney.
Okay, good.
Mr. Feeney's always a little British.
Was gonna have to take your.
Basically, Mr. Feeney wants to know how your weekend was. Dan?
Oh, wow. Feeney.
My weekend was great, Bran. It was awesome. Got some sleep.
What'd you do?
Hung out with my family all weekend. It was
All
wonderful.
weekend.
Ate some good food. Went to the trampoline park. We watched 2 movies. Just lived it
What
up.
movies did you watch?
Wonka, which is
Yes.
now available for streaming at home.
Wonka?
Good to know.
And Migration, which is also now available for streaming.
So you spent $50 on streaming movies this weekend?
Now that you're asking,
Wow.
we always were going to buy Wonka.
Sure.
So that was out the gate. I said, no, we're not buying Migration. And my kids said, we'll pay for it with the money in our piggy banks. And I said, doesn't add up to $30 because it was $30. And I poured out the money in their piggy bank. And I'll be danged if they didn't have $31.76.
And they spent it all?
They spent it all on
Holy
Migration.
cow.
Did I take it from them? Every last red
Yeah,
cent?
100%.
No, I put it back in their piggy bank. 'cause I'm a pushover.
Oh, come on. You
They
got to
don't
teach them
know
a
that.
lesson.
They don't know that.
You gotta teach them
I just
now.
couldn't do it.
Dan-
They were so excited they had enough money to buy this mediocre movie, and well, who was I to stand in their way?
Is it
Who am
mediocre?
I?
Yeah.
The Thompson House is single-handedly keeping Hollywood afloat.
You put out
Because if
any
you're
movie.
doing the math there, that's actually $60.
I thought Wonka was like $24.99.
I could be wrong. Sarah
Yeah.
did that one.
Because I looked this weekend as well.
No, I got it.
The difference between you and I is you bought 2, I bought 0.
Well, the second one my kids paid for with their own hard-earned
you gave it
money.
back.
Yeah,
They don't know
really.
that. As
But
far as
you
they
know it.
I do. Yeah, I do.
So you did.
But maybe I'll take it from them. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
It's tough because now they're going to
Oh,
go to their
hold on.
piggy
Did
bank.
you already put the money back in the piggy bank?
In the piggy bank.
They're
You
gonna
can't
think-
take it back now.
They don't know
They're
any
going to
better.
think money just shows up now.
But Beth Ann in the chat says that I abused my son with the football this weekend. I was throwing football with my kids this weekend, and I throw the ball, and my kid tries to catch it, and it jams his finger.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah, that's a
he's
good one.
hurt, and he looks down, and then he goes, "Dad, why did you aim for my hands?" Just like that, as tears are streaming down his face. And I had to turn away,
Yeah.
and then I went, "Buddy,"
I swear.
because that's where I was aiming.
where you
Like,
aim
I'm
it,
sorry
if you
that
wanna
you were
catch
hurt,
it.
but I'm trying to throw it to your hands, buddy.
Where does he think he catches
I don't know.
it?
It doesn't matter.
Sounds
If it
like
hits him,
abuse
it's
to
my
me,
fault,
man. I
of
don't know.
course.
It sounds a
Her
little rough.
finger does
Jam
stink.
finger? Oh, yeah,
jam
man.
Oh, it's not. No,
I
yeah,
watched a
not
little
messing
college
around.
basketball this weekend, Dan, and I'm I'm excited. March
Did
Madness.
you watch all the top
that's
10
coming
games,
around
though?
the
Did you watch
corner.
Kansas, Houston, North Carolina, Duke? Did you watch all those? Did you watch some like
No, I watched the games that were. I watched Purdue,
Northwestern?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Yeah.
Yeah, which was fun. I didn't watch any deep cuts.
Yeah. No, you don't watch any deep cuts.
Yeah, but it was fun. I'm excited.
Dude, it's tourney time.
I'm excited.
Almost
It's almost tourney
You
time.
gonna do it here?
Yeah.
Put on some
I don't
TV?
know
You
what
guys
we're
are
gonna
dressed
do.
up for the 1800s. I am going to London. I'm just dressed up how I'm going to dress the whole time I'm
Yeah.
in.
And Brian, what'd you
You're
do
gonna
this weekend, buddy?
I worked on a school project with my son, his first diorama on ocean habitats and the ecosystem.
There's a place.
Can I actually
Yeah.
tell you guys something that because I did some similar research.
Oh, you did?
There's a place on the
on
down Ocean Avenue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to sit there, talk with you.
Yeah. Well, we were both 18.
Yeah, it felt so right.
So right. Just
Sleeping
sitting
all day,
Staying up all
staying
night.
up all night.
That reminds me of a place on the corner of
Cherry Street, right?
Yeah.
We would walk on the beach in our bare feet.
Yeah.
No shoes.
We were 18. Well, so we were 16 on Ocean Avenue. We were 18
Yeah,
on
yeah,
Cherry.
yeah.
couple
'cause
years
we didn't
later.
go to Cherry
Guys
Street
have
until we were
great
18.
memories.
Right.
16, that's right. Anybody need a hard violin? Nope.
Let's talk paging. Paging, Mr. Darcy.
Come in, Darcy.
Mr. Darcy, we need you
over.
stat.
Stat.
We need
Oh,
70
no.
vials of CC.
Nope.
Call it.
70 vials of CC.
CC cream.
Oh, man.
Time of death.
February 3rd, 2024.
Fair.
It's when this movie aired and when I died in a little something like this. We meet Dr. Eloise Cavendish, Tom's daughter. And
Tom Cavendish's daughter. Son of a bitch.
on a plane reading some Jane Austen. And what'd you think about Jane Austen? Did you read a Jane Austen
Brian?
book before this week? No.
I'm doing it for the end of the month.
Got it.
This
Hey,
camera's great too.
So,
You got
yeah,
this
this
all
is-
lined up. This is right
This
on.
camera shows you how ginormous Brian's hat is.
Yeah.
It is just like a bucket.
You know what? I would place a bet on this. I think by the next time it goes to you, it's going to be fixed. It's just an idea.
Okay,
let's find out.
what's the wager?
So she works. She's reading the book. She's
Wow,
heading.
it looks so much better.
No,
I think we're talking
I think
camera.
by the time. I think by the time the synopsis is done, like maybe
The
we'll go to the first
shot.
break,
Yeah.
and then after that, it'll be fixed. That's what I think is going to happen. We'll find out.
There's not an angle in the world that could fix that hat on Brian's head.
So she's reading it on the plane, and she tells a bro, this dude next to her, that she's going to go speak at a Jane Austen conference. She loves the work. She hates the dress up. She hates the silliness. She hates the balls. And so, which makes it all the more unfortunate when she gets to the airport and she is greeted by a fella dressed up. His name is Sam Lee. He is the Darcy of this Jane Austen conference, and he's in full Darcy attire. She is not thrilled because, have I mentioned, she hates dress up. Her sister Maya also shows up. She's in tears. She just broke up with her boyfriend. The boyfriend's like, whatever, she's your problem now. Eloise sees a professor, Victoria Jennings. That's Ken's sister, by the way.
Jennings'
Oh,
sister.
yeah.
Wow.
And I know.
Relation there, yeah.
Circle
And,
against the square.
Different. Yes. And she's the head of Princeton's English department, and she really wants to impress Victoria Jennings. And so when she finds out that Victoria loves all the silliness, the dressing up, the balls of the convention, she
Loves all the balls.
gives in and takes Sam up on his offer to help her loosen up and get your silly on. And so they hang out a ton, dancing in secret garden, helping with food, etc.
Brian's locked in, you can tell.
And then she sees Sam
That's why
and
we're dressed up.
That's why we're here.
That's
Sam
right.
and Mia, they are having a little flirty fun time, or so she thinks. And so she's like, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Uh-oh. But also, Mia strikes again when she tells Victoria that her sister hates dress up, hates silliness, hates balls. And this is big news because Victoria's like, I thought we were akin there. We like the silliness, we like the fun, we like all of that, but also the work. How am I possibly to hire you to join the elite Princeton English department if you don't like balls?
Gotta like balls.
Must love balls.
So
Must love dogs.
It's in the description of the job.
So she's having a tough time. Eloise thinks that the love, the potential job, that they are both in jeopardy. Ken Jennings. Except
circle. Yes, the square.
JK, it's time for the ball.
Number one answer on the ball. Balls.
Sorry. So in this version of Hollywood Squares, it's hosted by Louis Anderson.
And it's Family
the late
Feud.
great.
Yes, it's Family
Got
Feud.
it.
Yeah.
Woodwatch.
Woodwatch.
Rest in peace,
sure.
obviously.
R.I.P. Obviously. Yes.
It's time for the ball. She decides, hey, I'm going. She gets dressed up, kind of. And guess what? She's off for the job. It doesn't matter if you like balls or not. English department, let's do this thing. And then she dances with Sam. Her sister's ex shows up and is like, I hear you like romance. Gets down on his knee and says, is this romantic enough for you? And she says, it is. They're engaged. Sam and Eloise dance and they kiss. Good ones. And that, my friends, was Paging Mr. Darcy. We're going to need 17 stats of CCs.
We did.
We did it. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to break this movie down with 4 segments here on Deck the Hallmark. What's up, baby boo? How you doing? Welcome back to Deck the Hallmark. That was for my wife. Unless you are my baby boo,
we're all here,
that's
though.
not for you. Bug out. For the rest of you, what's up? Welcome back.
For the rest of you.
Yeah, for the rest of you.
Not his wife.
Not my
Everybody
wife.
else.
Got it.
The commoners.
Yeah.
Yes, the commoners. That's exactly right. Welcome back. We're talking about Paging Mr. Darcy. We're going to need 6 legs and 7 hands stat. It's time for Paging Mr. Darcy. 4 segments. We're going to start with a hot take. I'm going to start with big hat, small head
Big
over
hat
here.
Larry.
You know Men in Black when they shoot the guy's head off and it grows back and it's really small? That's
Come on.
Right, it's dogs without heads. Dumb and Dumber. I get it.
Yeah.
Brian,
There it is.
what you got? What you think about this
Circle
movie?
gets the square. Hot take. The hottest take. I thought this was pretty good.
He's going to make his hot take disappear.
The hat
Look
is
this way.
The hat is so big on him that he's
humongous,
literally casting a shadow over his
It is
head.
unbelievable.
It's so big. My head's so small. I can't wear any hats. Spoiler alert, one of my feels has to do with how good people in this movie can actually wear hats. Like this works out. This actually makes my point so well for my feels that I was so jealous of how good the hats looked on everybody in this movie. I know where we are, but I'm just we're here. Like it's just there's nothing
Magic Brian.
better that could say it better except for showing how terrible
All right,
I look in a hat.
abracadabra, do your hot take.
So the chemistry was there. The sister was great. The setting was really awesome, and I feel like we have a little bit of a leg up in appreciating it because we've done Bramblefest and we've held a con where like people
We've
come.
watched 1,000 party planning, event planning movies. And in this one, you've decided in all your infinite magical wisdom that we have an inside track on understanding this movie because of how specific Jane Austen comes.
No, just because it's a conference for a small group of people who want to get together and have a good time. And, we can relate to that is all I'm saying.
I just want to be very clear. These are the same size hats. If you're watching on Philo.tv.
Brains are also the same size inside.
Brand's hat, same size as ours.
No, this is
All of
movie
these are
magic. Movie magic.
Same size
So
hat.
I had a fun time. Probably my favorite movie of 2024.
I mean, there's not a big. It's not, what was it up against?
I have a feeling that February is going to be a tough month for Bran. I think it's going to be a tough month for people. The brand stands out there. All 3 of you are going to have,
including your baby boo,
and including my baby. So all 2 of you that are listening because she has to listen, and I can't blame her. I don't like this time of my life. I don't like the way it all is. I don't like
this time of my life.
Okay, and while I was watching
Like in
this,
the past or like now, like how you're living right now?
Both. They're
okay,
connected.
okay.
But I was telling Dan, when I first saw Will Kemp, I said, this is going to be an uphill battle for me because anytime I see someone in this garb, I immediately don't like it. I don't know what it is. I know it's a me thing. I don't like the days of old. I by and large think it's boring and a waste of time. And
but it's history.
And I don't like history.
It's not history.
It
And
happened.
so I think it's going to be tough for me because I just something happens in my body where I see
body's a wonderland, Brad.
see somebody in
You've got this cape on.
in this
And this
even no, it
That's
doesn't
too small.
beautiful, wonderful. Even though it's not happening.
The Gilded Age.
Even though it's not in the Gilded Age in
Jane
this
Austen,
movie,
Pride and Prejudice too.
For us all.
they're dressed like it. And I immediately start to get tired.
Oh.
Drool begins to just part from my mouth because I'm sleeping and I don't know it. I am so automatically bored by this time period or even the sight of it that I just have a tough time. Thought the two leads were fine. Thought the sister was delightful. By and large,
I'll
try.
By
Hey, if you're
enlarged.
gonna buy your local produce,
you
better buy enlarged.
enlarged. Take it from us.
Take it from us.
This
Here at the Hat
was
Factory.
this was
That hat is eating your head alive.
It's not that I can do.
You are just
Just-
a nose and a microphone.
gotta let it
That's
happen.
all you got. That's
There's no use in
unbelievable.
fighting back. This hat is taken over.
this was
Nothing I can do.
as good as it can be for this, and I didn't like it. Dan?
Yeah, I unfortunately.
It's a good thing I had such a big nose to hold this
That's
thing
right.
up. Man.
Yeah. I unfortunately agree with most everything Brand said. I hated this. I don't think
Guys.
the two leads are matched very well. I did not think they had much chemistry. I loved, obviously Will Kemp and Mallory Jansen are both more than capable. I just didn't really feel the vibes there. The idea that this doctorate in literature with a specialization in Jane Austen is showing up for this festival and then just has a hesitation about everything that's going on. The fact that we don't
balls
really
hesitancy.
understand
Ball hesitation. Yeah.
that
Some
why
off.
Will Kemp is like, we don't really get enough of either of their backstories. I think a lot of this could have been fixed with a couple of flashbacks early of young Mallory Jansen, young Will Kemp, and how they just didn't fit in and they were awkward. And then they found a love of these things that helped them through a tough time. I think if you had fleshed out the characters in that way, instead of focusing more on the horrible sister and her horrible boyfriend or trying to tie this in any semblance to Jane Austen, I think you have a much better movie. But you didn't do that. And so instead, underwhelmed, bored. I don't know if it's better. Look, the chemistry of the Twisty Silks movie, better. This movie's in there with the Silks and Betty's Bad Luck and Love. I'm sorry. It isn't better. I did not have a fun time. I tried to be optimistic because Bran was definitely done from the moment he saw Breaches, but I just can't help you. It was not very good.
I tap out
and
at Breaches.
Didn't do anything for me at all. Sorry.
I'm a tapper outer.
Breach, yeah.
I tap out at
Breach
breachers.
Breaches.
Breaches.
Yeah.
I can't.
Breachers.
And I know it's a me thing, guys.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I acknowledge it.
Please- yeah,
Because
please.
here's the thing: the swing is all the way over here when it comes to Holly and Jolly. Like I see a Christmas tree and I'm like, okay, unless it's the movie from yesterday, and then you can also swing back with too many wreaths. But it's just there's something about. And I don't know if it's going to get any better this week. That's all I'm saying.
Well, here's the thing is that I think a lot of people in the Bramble Jam Plus chat, in the Double Decker chat, BrambleJamPlus.com, are upset at us. And I get that. I understand
upset?
that. Like, I've not
Really?
actually seen, I just saw a lot of like,
I like
thought their
this
chemistry
movie.
is great. Boo, you're wrong, blah, blah, blah. And
Aaron,
Aaron,
put your camera on.
Aaron Cam, where's your top hat?
You're wearing my top hat, Brian. That's the issue. There
it is.
I have my. I'm period.
You got a Kate and a Taylor shirt.
To be fair, the boo was for Holly from Holly because I vetoed Brian taking his shirt off.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't about any of
I
your
just
hot
see a lot of
takes.
people who were like, we
Thank
should
you,
have liked
Aaron.
this movie more than we did.
I saw a lot of comments agreeing with you.
Really?
Oh.
So
I guess for me, there has been enough, like an Austin adaptation is not something new. Just because we call it Austin month doesn't mean you can slap a Darcy and a breeches on something and it's automatically going to be good television. Well, of course. And I think that is the point, is that for Aaron Shea, that makes good television. It's, it's like if something is directed by Chris Nolan, I'm going to be predisposed to like it. It just isn't. That isn't enough for me. It has to be compelling on its own. To me, this wasn't compelling on its own and was kind of quite boring, in all honesty. So
Quite boring.
hard out for me. And
What if for Austin month you get one Jane Austen, you get one Stone Cold Steve Austin?
I love that.
there we
Like,
go.
what if we divvied it up a little
I
bit
like that.
to represent the rest of the Austins?
Ooh. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Does
Something
Stone
from
Cold make
about
any
Austin,
movies or write any
Texas.
books?
Stone Cold? I mean, his life is a movie.
Story, yeah.
Life's a Highway.
That's exactly right. Let's get to all the feels. Brian, you already told yours, but do it again, I guess.
Yeah, Mallory Jensen just pulls off a bonnet like no other, and all the hats
Then
on.
what's the competition? Are there other leading Hallmark actors that have worn a bonnet unsuccessfully?
I don't know. We don't really see bonnets too often,
Okay.
but I know when she put it on, I was surprised that it just looked so natural. And just every hat on every person in this movie just made me jealous. They just look so
Like
good.
it was fitted for them.
Yeah, like they can wear a hat. I wish I could wear a hat like a normal person, like when it's sunny out and you can just throw a hat. It
Yeah,
has a visor.
yeah.
I can't
No.
do that. My tiny
Unless
little
you have like a
pea
kid's
brain.
visor, maybe like one of your
I
children's.
could wear like a little league baseball hat.
Yeah.
But that's embarrassing. You get caught with one of those on. So that was it for me, Brand.
Well, they make little league hats for adults.
Do they?
Yeah, it's not just automatically for kids. Like the
They're
coaches.
supposed to be. They have regular size hats though, like adult
Yeah,
size.
he's talking about the size.
like
Brand,
literally wearing my kid's
not
hat would fit
wearing
better
a hat
than.
for a little league baseball
Got
game.
it, I
but-
misunderstood.
Yeah, we a little.
What are
Yeah,
you
we got
talking
that.
about?
Glad we straightened that out.
Circle gets the square.
Yeah, Louis Louis.
Oh man. My feels. I got like Secret Garden feels. That'd be
Vertical Horizon.
Pretty neat. That'd be pretty
Did
neat.
you
I-
say vertical hook horizon?
Just got a little choked up there thinking about. Was it Vertical Horizon? They have a Secret Garden song. Isn't there
I just
something
know
like
the
My
two
Secret
of theirs.
I like
everything
yeah.
you want.
the idea of dancing in a secret garden is like is romantic in and of itself. So
You throw some caution tape up there, boy,
oh
howdy.
man, if you can make it look like a crime scene, give it.
Yeah, man.
Try and stop
Give
me.
it to me, Dano.
I will say, for all the garbage I just gave this movie, I did think it was written with a lot of like fun, snappy, like turn of phrase dialogue in it. And I thought it did a good job of establishing like some strong female characters. It just was boring. So the whoever wrote the script, I bet the original version of this script was just phenomenal.
Agreed.
So the Little League hats.
Yeah.
You're not talking.
different sizes for.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back here on Deck the Hallmark. I just feel bad. I'm not a good enough film critic to put my biases aside when it comes. Biases aside when it comes to like this type of garb. I should be better, but alas, I am not.
Dude, there's a Netflix show called Bodies, and it's a murder mystery.
Bodies.
Where in 1890 something, 1920 something, 1940 something, present day, and in 30 years in the future, the same dead body appears at the same time, and all of these different generations of people have to solve the murder together. It does have a Way Home-esque feel, a little more graphic than that, but they have a lot of that show takes place in the 1800s, and it's phenomenal. I'm on board with things that take place during the era if they're done well. I'm not, this took place in modern day. It just is
I
kind
know.
of a hodgepodge balloon.
No, I know. The scenes where he's in street clothes I'm here for it.
Yeah.
As soon as he gets out of the breeches.
Give me Will Kemp in street clothes all day long and twice on Sunday. It's time for the Wait What Is, where we talk about what in this movie made us go, wait 1 second. What?
Yeah.
Brian?
Yeah. So Ben Ayers, is his
my
New Year's
gosh.
resolution to be in every movie?
I think he's going for a record.
I
just-
think he's there.
But I think the thing about that is so bewildering to me is not only is he doing this in all of these movies,
Yeah.
but he's giving a performance.
Yes, he's there.
not winking at the camera
Right.
like it's me, Ben Ayers.
Yeah.
It is very much, I'm golf guy.
Yeah.
Or I'm lawyer guy.
Yeah.
Or I'm whatever all the
Yeah,
other
the
options are.
museum boss guy.
He is and he's really good at it. What
He
is
only knows how to do one thing, and it's all the way.
Yeah, that's right.
He knows how to go all the way.
And it's almost like the less time you give him, the more he's like, I have to make sure my character comes across.
Yeah.
I'm only getting this one line
This
of
guy,
dialogue.
this character,
you need to know.
this character has a past.
That's right.
Yeah.
You need to know all about it,
Yeah.
I think.
He's so good.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
great. I can't believe we keep
It's just
seeing
funny.
it.
Yeah. It's good to see. The Austin professor turned down a ride from Mr. Darcy. Like that wouldn't happen. Like the Austin professor rides with Mr. Darcy every time. All the
Yes,
time. You
yes.
always go with Mr. Darcy. Why would you say no?
I think at one
She
point.
doesn't like dress up.
But you put that
But
aside
that's
in your
the way what of this movie is. I'm not saying if you like Jane Austen, you have to like all the stuff Jane Austen writes about in her books, like as far as actually participating in them. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But at one point, Aaron is watching this with us, and I said, she's a doctorate in what? And Aaron says she's a literary professor with a specialty in Jane Austen.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you have a specialty in Jane Austen. You're going to a Jane Austen conference. Why in the world is it shocking that they sent Jane Austen or they sent Mr. Darcy to pick you up?
My thing is, at a very impressionable age, she was embarrassed in front of all of her peers for liking Dress Up and Jane Austen.
Yep.
If that had happened to me, honestly, it would have impacted me for the rest of my life. And I can love Jane and not want to be in public with a man in breeches.
Totally get that.
You just
I
get
was
in the
not embarrassed.
car.
So if Will Kemp wants to show up in breeches at the airport,
he can just take his top hat off and
just to
drive.
be clear, she doesn't have to participate in that.
Yeah.
Knowing what she's going to.
Yes.
Mr. Darcy picking her up at the airport, she would just be like, okay, I'm getting in the car now.
Exactly.
She wouldn't be like, I have to dress. She doesn't have to do anything.
No.
All she's just get in a car.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, she's the center of attention, and she
In the car?
But
With the
her
guy in
like
the
in the
breeches?
airport when he's just standing there, everyone's taking
putting
pictures.
up a bit of a
and-
stink drew more attention.
That's
Because
right.
it didn't turn
Yeah.
into a longer thing.
They were hanging
And
around
she
for a long
knows
time.
what she's
yeah.
going to. And
Yeah.
it just doesn't, that part of the movie was so hard for me to.
But
I
to
don't know.
be clear,
it's almost like you guys have never been teenage girls. And
there's no doubt about that. I
Aaron,
mean,
listen, I think we
what
are
happened
fine
here?
with
Did you
understanding.
Did you flip your cape around?
Brandon?
Are you in the
Oh,
barber's chair now?
yes.
He's preparing for a Wing Wednesday.
Not a bad idea.
I'm always preparing for Wing Wednesday in my
day
heart and in my
early?
mind. Aaron, I do just want to get you on the record once again. Will Kemp breeches you're in?
Yeah, I mean, if we arrived at Comic-Con and Will greeted us, or not Comic-Con, Christmas Con.
Either one would work.
Sorry,
Any con.
Lisa was talking about Comic-Con in the chat. If Will showed up at the airport to pick us up in that costume with a little sign that said "Deck the Hallmark,"
Man, I wish.
yeah, I would take pictures and be in for that.
Boy. Yeah.
So
I think-
if you're listening,
Yeah.
Christmas
bud.
Con.
The least you
Will,
can do,
come
buddy.
on. We're down.
My family and his family are hanging out when we go to London, so I'll talk it through on the details.
I guess I'm going to London too.
Bring him back with you. We'll hold up a sign for you guys.
Is that true? You guys are hanging out?
Yeah, man. We texted.
What are you guys doing?
we're not hanging out.
I didn't know. He was a nice.
He's a nice guy.
Really nice boy.
If I pushed him on it, he probably would be like,
Yeah.
yeah let's do it.
He's
You'd
not
have a hard
invited to
time
tea
saying
time.
He's invited. We're going to a Willy Wonka tea time. Try and stop us.
What's the exact date and time for other people that want to show up?
Yeah. If you had
No
to
comment.
pick a rough time. The conference, I mean, this happens all the time. They just don't conference at all the whole time. The security, was that a Jane Austen museum or just like a library with an exhibit? I don't remember what exactly that was. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, on the outside of the building, it's a Jane Austen correspondence exhibit.
Yeah.
So when they were at the correspondence exhibit, of
Yep.
course, obviously,
You're getting there.
The security was aggressive. Like that place, they lock it
They'd
down.
have made you take off your hat for sure.
Absolutely.
You could
I'm
be
not,
stuffing
well,
all
not,
kinds of things
Oh,
in
I'm
there.
not walking in there with this thing. Like there's just a guy in a huge security jacket. They're shushing you all over. It just felt really aggressive. And
But
then,
you can pick up and touch every single one of those old novels.
Hands-on
We're
exhibit.
getting there. Yeah.
But how dare you laugh?
The last thing was, I think we all probably picked up on this, even though we didn't watch together. Old Man Winter at the speech, the ball, whatever that thing was at the end. He was like a mountain man with his little ponytail. He's Santa somewhere. He did a thing where he was holding a drink and he had to clap. So he went with a little tummy tap as his clap.
Yeah, he did.
And that was, I've never seen a tummy, not one of these where you just, like if I'm holding a drink, I'm just lightly,
Do you ever
tap
do one of these numbers?
Oh, on the wrist? No, on the wrist
do this
is a,
weird thing where I don't clap.
you just don't, of course,
Do you
man.
remember though at church whenever they would have the wireless mics and it'd have to clap like this?
Oh my gosh.
Come on. And that hurts
Yeah,
up against
you
that forearm.
slapping that soft
Forearms
flesh?
aren't meant to be slapped.
No, everybody knows that. But the tummy tap's a pro. I mean, he
Tummy
knows.
tap's a
The
pro
guy
move.
knows what he's doing.
What about the knee? You do
thigh,
the
that's
knee.
a good
The
one.
knee
Yeah,
would
yeah.
be the
If you're
one,
sitting
yes.
down, he was up.
Yeah.
He's up. But
You can do that fully erect. You can do that.
I don't know.
There's got to be a better way.
You can do that while standing.
Yes.
Yeah, you could say it like that.
Yeah, that's
You
the
can
way
do
would
that.
say
You
it.
can tap your
You
leg
can
while
do that.
You
standing.
can tap your leg
100%.
fully erect. That is accurate.
Yeah.
There's scientifically that.
Y'all
Also,
are
while you're not
perverts.
erect, I think
Y'all
you can
are-
as
y'all
well.
are
If we're getting scientific about it,
Y'all, I can't say anything nowadays.
well, not like that. If you say it like that, then
yeah.
we have to
I think it's about how you
talk
say
about it
more than anything.
So the tummy tap is a good move. Erect
How
or
about
not.
this one? How about this one?
Doesn't
You
really
ready for
matter.
this? What's going on with that little party on the golf course while the golf course is
Oh my
open?
gosh.
Open, yeah, open
I don't
golf
even wanna
course?
talk about it. I
We
can't-
have to
I
talk about it.
couldn't-
I'm sorry.
Nothing would like, okay, well, imagine you go to a Jane Austen convention, full dumb garb, and you're outside, you're having a wonderful tea time.
Did you say full dumb
garb and you're drinking tea.
what they called
You're
it.
drinking tea. You're having a good time, and you're like, I feel like I'm back in it. And then a golf cart rides by. And it's like, fuck! Like nothing's taking you out of that vibe more than a bunch of golf carts zipping
Not
by.
only that, but you are in danger.
Yeah.
Like, they are
Yeah, you're
so
gonna get whacked in the
close.
head, man.
I don't know if you know this. People that play golf are bad at golf.
Yeah, I'm real bad.
Even Tom Brady.
I lose more balls than I find. Than I keep.
I think most people, you're going to get hit by a golf ball. Like the fact that they have this very nice tee and like lawn game set up 20 yards from a golf course is just absurd.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Real
you
bad.
can't do
Just
that.
the balls, you know?
Yes.
It was my
Go
mic.
ahead.
Dan, I really appreciate you saying the word golf in front of balls that we know.
That's right.
Yeah, thank you
not
for-
just
yeah,
any
Yeah,
sport balls.
Thank you for
Man, that
specifying.
you're
feels-
welcome.
feel like
Try my
tact,
best.
like attacked.
When I go play a game of golf, I know the difference between that and a tennis
Just a
ball.
game. That's all it is.
Game of golf.
Yeah, summer
It's a
of balls, golf balls.
Summer of golf
Exactly
balls.
right.
That's right.
And then I
Summer.
also have the wait what, which is this? And then I stopped writing, and I did want to
I
put
was
that
wondering
on the
about that
record.
too.
Yes, is
Yeah,
this?
Is it though?
And I actually just got word that it is.
Oh, good.
Dano?
It's more of a what the Hallmark, really.
Yeah, so we got to talk about the Jane Austen exhibit where the security is tighter than most airports. You can touch all of the old books, and then there is a library in there, even though she only wrote 6 books. That Jane Austen exhibit makes zero sense whatsoever across the board.
Zorro sense.
As Zorro sense, even as much sense as.
Who deserves an exhibit more, us or Jane Austen?
I mean, how many
you
episodes?
Said, Brian, you said us earlier.
100%.
Yeah.
We're
Always.
1100 deep at this
overrated,
point.
maybe the most overrated in history, maybe,
Of her generation or any
or
others. what you
any
said, I
other
believe.
generation, quote unquote.
Yeah.
I mean, we're already in the podcast museum right next to Serial, and so. Like,
And
I think
Lore was
and
just
Lore.
At
inducted.
least we could do.
I
That's
think
right.
it's the least we could do.
Yeah.
Also ridiculous. From the airport, there are no Ubers available within 20 minutes. From the airport.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
not sorry. She hands her sister a Mansfield Park flavored ice cream. Did this festival have
Custom ice cream.
Custom ice cream
Yeah, that's a
flavors
great
made?
idea, isn't it?
I mean,
And it took her
Well,
forever to
not
get
custom
the ice cream.
Like she said, it's Rocky Road.
she said it Mansfield
Oh, the-
Chunk,
the
and she said it's
label.
Rocky Road, but they changed it. Like she said that the ice cream is actually changed.
It's
She
from the
didn't make it up.
1800s.
She said that's what it's called.
Yeah, I just assumed they bought ice cream and like
threw a label on
it.
Oh no, I was under the
I
impression
didn't assume
that.
Jala was
They were
undermaking.
that
churning
seems like
that.
more work than just having somebody make you an ice cream. Like having some company make you an ice cream.
Can you get your own ice cream made?
Yeah.
You just like
I know a guy.
I think
I know. Mark Summers, isn't it?
Mark
it
Summers.
is Mark
I
Summers
knew
or
it.
a friend of Mark Summers. One of the
Friend
other.
of Mark Summers. A friend of my friend is Mark Summers.
Yes, it is, of course. Yeah, and maybe he'll be your friend one day.
Maybe.
Circle gets the square.
Yep, fingers crossed.
There.
I think when this movie hit rock bottom to me was when she gets upset at the fake kiss during the play version of Pride and Prejudice. That was like the low, like of all the times to use the worst possible misunderstanding of all time. I think this movie where you have someone, Mallory Jenkson's character is written as very, very smart, very independent, very like just gifted in a lot of ways. And for her to know her sister her whole life and to know that kiss isn't happening, I don't get it. Are you okay?
Yeah, there's just no way to sit.
Yeah.
Sit with my head back.
I was just kind of like laughing to
You
myself.
look like the world's smallest Breaking Bad fan. I love Heisenberg. You're making rock candy.
crystal clear.
Jokes just don't stop. Thought we'd run out by now.
Yeah. It's time for What the Hallmark. It's
I have a wait what real quick.
Ooh.
turn your camera on.
Yeah.
There she is.
My wait what is that we get a cooking/baking montage, one of Brian's favorite things. And we get Will Kemp making a whisk pun, and Brian Harold did not get it.
I didn't. I don't remember.
So that's
hearing
my
that.
wait what is, Brian, what's wrong with you?
So much. I'm embarrassed by
Yeah.
that. I am embarrassed.
I wish you weren't even here.
Walking on eggshells around you.
Nope.
No. Okay. All right.
Yoke wasn't funny. It's like we wrote that beforehand,
Cow.
gang. Man, I don't care what anybody says.
Man,
This show's
just
funny.
over here deadpan.
That's incredible.
Excellent, even.
No.
Man, we
Let's
just
get to the What the Hallmark
Let's
story. Wonder what could have been.
knock
Maybe
it
some
off.
questions we still have. Brian, what are you still wondering about, buddy?
Yeah, when the sister came out to the lawn party, what kind of 19th century edibles did she find before she headed out? Because she came out on cloud 9 and more. She was bouncing off the walls. She
I
had
saw Cloud 9 and more.
and
live.
more. She was on something. And
Maybe some of your meth.
Maybe, yeah, it could have been
Yeah.
one of the early batches. I just wished we knew what she was doing there.
Here's my question. People that go to Austin cons, Stone Cold, or mainly Jane in this case.
Or the city.
Jane Austen conventions. Are there people, how committed is the most committed person? Because we didn't see a lot of people that were like always in
Very
character
committed.
like Will Kemp was. Do you think that there's some people that aren't taking the elevator, they're only taking stairs? Like, how committed is the most committed person at this thing?
Probably the stairs thing is
The
the,
stairs
most
thing.
committed that somebody gets.
What if she got in the elevator and she's doing the whole goodbye and he's like, well, clearly this wasn't meant to be.
That's right.
Mine was very similar to that because I feel like Will Kemp dresses in, the garb, and then we
dumb garb.
We established
Dumb
the
garb.
dumb garb. We established that she doesn't want any part of that because of
Right.
something embarrassing happening in her past. And then we have someone designing a costume and goes to great lengths to tell you that it won't look the way it would have looked back then.
Yeah.
And then no one else, there's not a lot of effort put forth in that regard. It's like that one scene where the costume designer comes in and goes, it's not going to look the way it should look. And she's kind of winking at the camera like, you're just not going to see that all movie. We didn't have time for it. It's just not important. And so just act like people care about Jane Austen in this movie as much as you do watching at home. And it was this wink that we all just needed to get over so we wouldn't have to deal with the budget of finding those clothes. And I just, it didn't jive with me at all. Like, it didn't really make any sense.
Who said that? Someone said I clearly have not been to a Ren fair. Michelle said that.
Yeah.
Gotta
Yeah,
be, I
none
don't
of us
even.
have, would be my guess.
can't.
I don't even.
Oh, Aaron has been
None of us on
around.
camera have. I
Yeah.
think we all knew, Aaron. I
Yeah.
think we all knew
Goes without
who
saying.
in this room had gone to a Ren fair. raise your hand over there off camera.
What do you have to say for yourself?
Yeah, come on.
I had a great time. Would do again. 10 out of 10.
Would you use the stairs in lieu of elevator?
No,
I think
eat
all the meals with your hands.
Yeah, I had a turkey leg.
Great.
But if there was an elevator,
It's outside.
I'm just saying.
Imagine.
Maybe this one's not. If there was an elevator,
in a
what would you
tent,
do?
a two-story
How would you
tent.
handle it?
How many floors am I going up?
3.
6.
Elevator.
Wow. 5.
Probably
Elevator.
elevator.
Yeah.
4.
Maybe
Elevator.
stairs.
You're still
Maybe stairs.
Fours,
By the time we
maybe
get to one, I
stairs.
think she's taking the stairs, guys.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I live on the second floor. I take the stairs every day to my apartment. I never use the elevator.
And for Emily Boyd out there, I don't remember the elevator scene.
And I
We're
don't
going to be
know what
back
an elevator
tomorrow.
toe scene is.
We're going to be back tomorrow with The Way Home, Thursday
Elevator.
with The Gilded Age, which...
You might see us in these outfits again.
And then Friday with a fun interview. Until then, maybe the first to wish you a Merry Christmas!
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.